Topic 5.1. For this problem right here, we're going to find the inverse function. To find the inverse function, it requires 4 steps. Step 1 is to change the f of x to y. Step 2, exchange all the x's and y's. In other words, all the x's become y's and all the y's become x's. Okay. The third step is to solve for y. I want to multiply both sides by the least common denominator, which is y plus 2. Which gives me xy plus 2x equals y minus 1. Next, I want all my y terms to be on the same side. So I'm going to subtract y from this side. And I'm going to subtract 2x from this side. As a result, I'm going to get x, y, and minus y equals negative 2x and a negative 1. Okay, now from here I'm going to factor out my y's. So I have y times x minus 1 equals negative 2x minus 1. And then we'll divide both sides by x minus 1. So we'll end up with y equals negative 2x minus 1 all over x minus 1. And this completes step 3, solving for y. Step 4 is to make the y the inverse function. So the inverse function equals negative 2x minus 1 all over x minus 1. And in some cases, you can factor out a negative 1 out of the numerator and get negative on the outside and a positive 2x and a positive 1 for the numerator all over x minus 1. So these are 2 options that you have. Okay. Next, number 4. Number 4, we have 2 functions, f of x and g of x. And we want to know, is g of x the inverse function for f? To see if g of x is an inverse function, we take the property, we compose both functions, f composed with g, and we want to see if we get an x as a result. If we get an x as a result of composing f with g, then this is the inverse function of f. So, f composed with g means f is the outer function, while g is the inner function. So, f being the outer function, which is here, 2x and x minus 4, we'll write that up as the outer function. So 2 and the minus 4, and the x's get replaced with the g's. So, that's the outer function. The 2 and the input minus 4. So 2 in the input and the input minus 4. Now that I've changed the outer function, now I want to change the inner functions. The g of x becomes 4x all over x minus 2. And here as well, 4x all over x minus 2 and minus 4. Okay, so now we have the inner function placed inside. And from here, I'm going to multiply the top and bottom by the greatest common factor, or the LCD, should I say, least common denominator, which is x minus 2. So let's multiply this first with the numerator, and we'll get 8x all over x minus 2, and then we have 4x x minus 2 minus 4. Okay, just to simplify these two. Right, let's multiply everything here by x minus 2 and multiply everything here by x minus 2. As a result, these two will cancel and we'll get 8x. When this multiplies with this, we'll get 4x. When we multiply these two, we'll get negative 4 times x minus 2. Okay. The denominator, when I distribute this negative 4, will give us 4x, a negative 4x, and a positive 8. From there, the negative 4x and the positive 4x cancels, leaving us with 8x in the numerator and 8 in the denominator. And now this simplifies to x. And since it did simplify the x, we know that, yes, we conclude, therefore, g of x is the inverse function.